Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the first video of the year. I thought it would be best to start the year with a nice sit down chatty video with you guys. I thought I would come here and share my reading goals because apparently I do have some reading goals for this year, and hopefully this year is a better reading year for me, as 2024 was sadly not the best reading year for me. I'm gonna hope for the best this year, and I also thought it would be a good idea for me to get back into the monthly TBRs. I just found monthly TBRs to be very helpful in having an idea of what you want to read. I am a mood reader, always have been, always will be, but just having an idea of which books you have in your TBR, which books you would like to read, and just going over your list and your library and your shelves to just get an idea of the books that you could possibly pick up for that month. I just think it's really helpful to have some titles in mind, and I thought we would do that for this video, and that just also gives me an opportunity to talk to you a little bit more because that is something that I haven't done in a while. And just a really quick side note, the sun has been playing with my feelings all morning. It was raining this morning. I thought I was going to be able to film today, and then the sun came out, but it comes and goes. So if you guys see the light changing, I apologize. The sun is playing with my feelings today, but that's not gonna stop me. We have a great video ahead of us, so let's just get started. I wrote down a few notes as well as my reading goals, and I thought it would be best to start with my reading goals. That way my TBR makes a little bit more sense. So let me just start with my reading goals for 2025. And the first one is to read. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, 2024 was not a great reading year for me. I don't know what it was. I struggled to pick up books since January. I was in the biggest reading slump. I can't remember if it was at the end of 2023 or at the beginning of 2024. I just remember that I tried very hard to get out of my reading slump, and I don't think I was very successful until maybe about a month ago or so. I would have liked to look back and see how many books I read. I honestly don't think I read more than 10 books. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I read very little last year. So my intention is to read a lot more this year. But with that being said, I would like to read with more intention, if that is a thing. I want to be more intentional with what I'm reading and not just pick up books because they're trending or because they are very hyped, if that's not something that I'm actually wanting to read at the time. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I can feel the pressure, and I don't want to feel FOMO on not reading the book that everyone is reading at the moment. Sometimes I do cave in, sometimes they do sound like it's something for me, but sometimes they're just not for me. So basically, I don't want to feel FOMO. I don't want to be pressured into reading the book that everyone is reading at the time. So I'm just gonna go with my instincts and what I want to read at the moment and be more intentional with that. The second one I have is challenging myself to read 60 books this year. Maybe it is a big jump from only reading about 10 books last year to wanting to read 60 books this year. But I did the math, and if I read one book per week, maybe two, here and there. Every month has about 4 to 5 weeks, depending on how the days fall. But if I read a book every week, that's not that bad. A lot of people can read 5 books per week, and that is great for you. That if you can do that, you're amazing. But I was just doing a little math, very easy math, and I thought, well, if I read 5 books every month, that would get me to 60 books. You guys, I should be able to read at least 4 to 5 books every month. Maybe if I had set the challenge to 50 books, that would have been easier to reach, but I want to also challenge myself a little bit more. That's why I decided to choose 60 books as my Goodreads challenge. And for me to be able to read 60 books by the end of the year, that means that I do have to read 5 books per month, and I'm planning to do so. I personally think that's a really good challenge and a good goal set for me, for myself, and let's just hope that I do reach it. We all know that buying books and reading books are two separate hobbies, and I do fall victim to both of those hobbies, which, to be honest, I don't think I overbuy books. I can go a few weeks without buying a book, but when I buy a book, I not only just buy one, I buy multiple books, and then that leads to me having the biggest TBR list pile of books and not read them. One of my goals for this year is to read most of my unread books in my shelves. And actually, if you guys know Taylor Tippett here on YouTube, I hope you guys do. If you guys haven't watched her videos and you're watching this one for some reason, I highly recommend going over to her channel because she's amazing. I follow her on Instagram, and she mentioned that one of her goals was something similar to what I was thinking already, and she came up with the idea. I don't know if she came up with the idea, but she mentioned that one of her goals is to maybe read 5 books from the ones that she has, or I'm not sure if library books or Kindle Unlimited books, anything counts towards the 5 books, but she mentioned that she would like to read 5 books, and then after that she can buy 1 book. I thought that was very interesting because I can read 5 books and maybe as a reward I can buy 1. And what I really want to try to do is that if I do buy 1 book, is because I'm planning on reading it for that next month or the next week or that same day, whatever. Like, I don't want to buy it and just shelve it, which is not bad. It's not bad if we do that. We all do that. But I just want to be more intentional with the book that I'm buying, if I'm buying 1 book. Another thing that I really want to do this year, and with every book that I read, is write reviews, because I am so bad at reviewing books. I don't know what it is about. I love to discuss and I love to talk about the books, but for whatever reason I've never been good at writing reviews after I finish the books. I can talk about the book and I can tell you why I liked it, why I didn't like it, but I want to be, again, more intentional and just write a review and add it to my Goodreads. That's why I created a whole new account. I have 0 friends, so if you want to be my friend, I will try to link my Goodreads page down below. I do think that the stars matter because that is the first thing that we look at when we're looking for a book, but I think reviews are very important. And as someone that likes to write, and as someone that one day would like to be a writer and a published author, I think, I don't know, maybe reviews really do help to give and to give your opinion and to understand your opinion and your point of view on the story, why you liked it, why didn't you like it, what worked for you, what didn't work for you. I think I would like people to review my stories one day. So I think it's time for me to start reviewing, and also just be more mindful of how you review the books that you read. And I think bad reviews should be able to tell us why that didn't work for you, why you don't think that was a good book, and not simply because like I hated this book. I just want to be able to articulate why I didn't like it, why it didn't work for me, why that wasn't the best book I read this year or whatever. Just be more intentional about what I say about a book and a story. And with all of that in mind, I do want to start a new series here on my channel. I've wanted to do this for a while now. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to start the new series. And the idea is for me to have a little sit down chatty video with you guys where I can talk about and discuss some topics, some books, my own experiences with writing, reading, being part of the booktube community. I don't know, different subjects, but everything's gonna be from my point of view because that is the only point of view that I get. I don't know, maybe we can have other people come in and share their own point of view on these subjects. We can discuss down in the comments. I'm just hoping for the videos to be sweet and short, but maybe very impactful in the topics that I talk about and things from my own experience. Whenever you guys see a video from me titled "From My Own Point of View," that is what I'm talking about, and hopefully I can have one up this month because that's the idea. So those are my reading goals for this year. I might come up with another one later on, but for now those are the reading goals I have. And now let's move forward with the books that I want to read for this month, January 2025. That is crazy. 2024 just flew by with a blink of an eye. One passed us. I don't know what happened. For this month, like I said, I want to pick at least 5 books. Have 5 books in mind that I want to read. It's okay if I don't read them all. It's okay if I see another book that catches my attention at the time. That's fine. As long as I have about 5 or 6 books in mind to read, that I'll be happy with that. So you guys, the holidays went by so quickly. I didn't even have time to read holiday books. I don't think I read a single holiday book last month, which is sad. But the book that I did want to read is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. I've never read an Ali Carter book. This would be my first book by her. I'm excited to read it. I've heard good things about it. It is described as Knives Out, and I really like that movie. And I just love and enjoy detective stories, especially in movies like Sherlock Holmes. Those are some of my favorite movies. I'm excited to read this one. It's gonna be like a fun detective romance story, and I'm here for it. It is technically a holiday story because it is the most wonderful crime of the year. It happens during Christmas time, and even though Christmas was last month, I think the holidays are technically still lingering a little bit, and I think I can get away with reading this one. And I'm gonna read it on my Kindle because I bought it for like $2.99 and it's on my Kindle. Another book that I want to get to also on my Kindle is The Deal of a Lifetime by Fredrik Backman. It's not a book, it's a novella. It is very short, and I already read one of his short stories. Fredrik Backman is one of my favorite authors, but I don't want to run out of things to read by him. And I already read Beartown last month, and I would like to read this short novella. It seems like it's also set during the holidays because there's a Christmas tree. I'm also going to pick it up, my Kindle. I hope it gives me all the feels that I can feel. I will read anything and everything by him, trust me. Another book that I want to pick up this month, and I'm so excited because I've been waiting to read this one since I read his first book, and that is Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. I read my first book by him last month. It's called Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, and it's also a detective crime mystery, murder mystery series. Love that book so much. It's funny. It's also described like Knives Out and that sort of style. Right up my alley. Love that book so much. I wanted to pick up the second one. I didn't know that those two were part of a series. I think the same character that we follow on the first book, we are following on the second one, so it's technically a series. And then he also came out with the third book. I'm not gonna read the third book this month. I'm just gonna read Everyone on This Train is a Suspect. It actually comes out in paperback at the end of the month, and I already pre-ordered that, so it doesn't count towards the way I'm gonna buy books goal, because that one has already been pre-ordered, so it doesn't count. Okay, it doesn't count. Like, I am so excited for that book. I can't wait to have it in my hands because I am going to read it, and don't worry, I will have a reading vlog up for that one. Another book that I decided to pick up this month, I really want to get to this one because it sounds intriguing and very different, very unique in its own way, and that is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Shelby Van Pelt, I hope I said that right, is this beautiful book right here. I love the octopus and the colors and the water. I've heard amazing things about it. Again, I like going into my books blind. This one seemed to be a lot of people's favorite last year, and I'm excited to get to this one. I'm looking forward to reading more fiction literature this year. I always tend to gravitate towards fantasy and romance, especially last year. I would like to read more fiction, and that is the book that I chose for this month. The next book I have is The Wishing Game by Meg Shaffer. This one came out, I want to say like a year, 2 years ago, and it's been on my shelf for almost a year. And I am happy to let you guys know that I actually started this book this morning. I am on part 2 of it, and I am really enjoying this book. I thought this book was gonna be for kids or young adults. I don't know if it's a young adult, but it's definitely adult. It's not for kids like I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be kind of like in the realm of like Narnia, Harry Potter, those wholesome sort of books. But this has adult content in it, and I believe there's gonna be a romance in it. I don't know how adult it's gonna be, but there is adult content in it, as in like words, vocabulary, and things being said. Like corn, for example, is mentioned in this book, which I was not expecting that at all. Or like people calling people sexy. It's not for kids, I can tell you guys that much, but it's really good. I am enjoying it so far. This is heavily inspired by Willy Wonka, and I'm not mad about it. Again, I'm a few pages in, but I'm really enjoying it already, and you guys will see it in my next reading vlog, which is coming after this one. Another book that I'm planning to read this month, it's Blood Over Bright Haven by M. Mel Wang. Emil Wong, and this book came out a few months ago. I've heard amazing things about it. I believe it's set in an industrial era sort of thing. I don't know if the industrial era or, you know, the industrial era of this world. I don't even know if we are in our world or it is a world of its own. I think it's a world of its own. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to it. My husband actually bought me this copy and I'm excited to read it. And the last book that I have to show you guys is The Art of Catching Feelings by Alicia Thompson. I've never read a book by her. I have this one. I believe I have another one. Yep. Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I've been interested in reading that one, but I still haven't. But I thought this one was a good book to start with. Just like an in-between book between the fantasy and the fiction. Just a nice romance story. I thought this one would be a great add into the month. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to it, but I'm gonna add it into my TBR list just to have a romance book option. Okay guys, my battery is about to die, so with that being said, that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys if you stayed to the end. Let me know if you guys have any reading goals down below. Let's talk about it. Comment. Let me know any books that you guys are reading this month. That is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.